Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome back to the Majid Kanka channel. It is an absolutely beautiful day. Again, a very beautiful weather. It's Jum'ah, so Jum'ah Mubarakah. Recently I asked you guys on my Instagram channel to ask me a couple of questions, whatever you want to know about Turkey. And I've compiled the questions, but because I don't usually like to carry my phone with me, I crumpled them up and put them in this can in pieces of paper. And inshallah, I'll be picking them out one by one and reading the questions and reading and telling you the answers to those questions, inshallah. So starting off with the first question is asked by Sahab, and he asks, why are Turkish girls so hot? Okay. Look, by the way, it's just disclaimer, okay? That's a very hot question in itself. You know, as a disclaimer, people are gonna be like, look, listen, I didn't design these questions. It's you guys who asked me. My job is to answer. It's your job to ask the questions. Okay, so yeah, let's try to analyze this in a scientific halal way, right? So why are Turkish girls so hot based on what Sahab asks? I guess it can be attributed to the diversity of the gene pool over here in Turkey. I mean, Turkey does have like a huge history of interracial marriages, intermixing, you know, so mashallah, like, you know, the gene pool, you know, just decided to pick those best traits of each culture and produce what you see now, which is really fine looking. You know, let's just forward this question. And so that's my answer to it. Yeah, that's my answer to it. We gotta keep this channel family friendly as well. And by the way, okay, a quick disclaimer, another disclaimer. If I butcher your names, it's because it's an Instagram username. No one pronounces that correctly. So frownline.s asks, what are your favorite Turkish dishes? Now it's hard when you say it dishes, because dishes is quite general. Like, do you mean Turkish desserts? Do you mean Turkish main courses, the entree, the appetizers? I guess when it goes for appetizers, a good salad is always the best way to go. I mean, usually here in Turkey in restaurants, they will give you like a bowl of really dry salad with no dressing, and they will give you pomegranate juice. I don't know, it's not pomegranate juice, it's some kind of pomegranate concentrate. It has a very vinegary-ish taste. And then they'll give you lemon juice and olive oil, and you just have to dress the salad however you want, you know. So yeah, a salad's always good at the beginning. When it comes to the main course, I'd say Iskandar is really nice. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of Turkish food, although I like Turkish food. I mean, alhamdulillah, it's good, but it's not the best thing that I've tasted out there. So an Iskandar is good. As for dessert, I guess baklava, you know, baklava is amazing. And I'm sure the American tourists, whenever you see them on YouTube, this baklava is something else. So yeah, the baklava is amazing, you know. Okay, moving on to the third question. I just took out the piece of paper and I am going to read it. This kid in the back, man. Al-Muhim, Bilal26.06 asks, does it taste better than chicken? I can understand now why Turkey appealed to the United Nations to change its name officially from Turkey to Turkey. But you know, this was totally not pun intended. Very nice, very nice. Next question, and this is also a hot one. You know, this is a spicy question, not like the first one. The first one was spicy, right? Put me in a very muhrij, in a very tight situation, a very tight spot. You know, I felt like all the aunties were watching me at that one point, my family and all. But NX Photos, or I guess NS Photos, asks, do you feel more accepted by Turkish or Malaysian people? This is a very hard question, because for those of you who don't know, in case this is the first video of my channel you're watching, I'm Ugandan Pakistani, born in Malaysia, born and raised in Malaysia, and I came to Turkey 4 years ago. You know, when you record videos out in public, you just have to give salam to like the entire neighborhood. So yeah, do I feel more accepted by Malaysian people or by Turkish people? Okay, look, in Malaysia, I think one of the big factors to being if this kid screams one more time. Well, with regards to me feeling accepted more by Malaysian or by Turkish people, I feel that you know, language is just an absolutely huge part to really getting to know the culture and getting close to the people. And that's something I definitely didn't have living in Malaysia. I mean, I did understand Bahasa Melayu, but my understanding went as far as, you know, I was sitting in, and as long as I was sitting in a mama stall, because, you know, that was the essential stuff. You know, you need to know the name of the foods, you need to know how to order, you need to know how to say boss satu titare, and you know, that's as far as my Bahasa Melayu went. So I didn't really get an opportunity, despite living there. Like, I'd say I assimilated in almost every way when it came to the Malaysian culture, but not knowing Bahasa Melayu well was just that thing that was holding me back from like you couldn't say exactly fully assimilating, but assimilating 70 or 90% and getting accepted by the culture over there. However, me living here in Turkey, I was forced to learn the language. I mean, anyone who comes and lives here, and if they want to make their life easy, they have to learn the language. So, you know, in Malaysia, whereas I was only pushed to learn the language when I was inside a mama stall, because that was the essential. Over here in Turkey, in all walks of life, you are forced and you absolutely have to learn the Turkish language. So I would say, just because of this one factor, the fact of me knowing Turkish better than Bahasa Melayu, I do feel more accepted by the Turkish people than I did by the Malaysians, despite me living most of my life in Malaysia. And there's also one factor to consider, that culturally, I'd say, based on my observation, the Malays and Malaysians, they tend to like bond with one another more and are not so open to mingling with other cultures. I mean, they can coexist, and Malaysia is a testimony to that. You have Malays, Indians, Chinese, you know, foreigners, different races living together in harmony, supposed harmony, inshallah. But then, you know, whenever I see Malay people living outside Malaysia, most of the time, 99.9%, they are just, you know, limited, and they just mix with their own Malay group, or if they are Indian Malaysians, then just within their own Indian group. You get me? So I would say that's also one important factor to consider. Moving on with the questions, because I don't want to make this video too long. This question was asked by Arts by Hannah. Is it worth it if I move there? Now, okay, if it's worth you moving to Turkey, it really depends on where you're coming from, all right? If you're coming from a country where the currency is weaker, then, you know, life over here is not gonna be a walk in the park. It's gonna be much tougher for you because the inflation here is high. So, you know, if you're coming from the US, for instance, or I think even Malaysia, like 1 Malaysian ringgit now is almost equivalent to 4 Turkish lira. So if you still have an income source that's coming, an income stream that's coming from Malaysia, you still have someone over there like your father or your mom or your auntie or someone who's sending you the money here to Turkey, then absolutely, man, I definitely recommend it. You can live over here like a king if you have someone outside earning money. And now we are at the final question. Alhamdulillah, I hope this video was not too long, and if I took so much of your time, then I'm absolutely sorry. But this video is by Ibrahim.muibi, and he asks, how is the architecture compared to Malaysia? A friend of mine told me it was worse. Well, I mean, if you made up your mind, if you made up your mind that it was worse, then there's your answer. Yani, why are you asking the question? You already have a preconceived idea. Okay, look. The thing about Turkey when it comes to architecture is it gets boring, you know. Malaysians really know how to turn it up a notch. They're very creative with their designs. And the other day, when it comes to mosques specifically, I was showing my friend Muhammad Ingnoy. I was showing him the different creativity, the different mosque ideas that people come up with Malaysia. Like, for example, you know, the pink mosque in Putrajaya, or the mosque on the sea in Terengganu, or the glass mosque in I forgot which city it was, but there's a mosque, you know, with all glass, and they light it up at night. It's absolutely beautiful. But the thing about here in Turkey is that, you know, once they pick something and it works for them, they stick to that, you know. It's like they're not very much creative when it comes to the variety. Like, if this works, you stick with it and you keep... If this works, you stick with it and you keep using it over and over and over again. That's the mentality over here in Turkish. So naturally, the architecture tends to become, you know, boring and monotonous at some point. You know, like, it's no longer fun for me to go to Sultan Ahmed, or it's no longer fun for me to check out this new mosque or that new mosque, or this new building and that new building, because I almost know what to expect. You know, it's almost 100% certain that it's gonna be something based on the discipline and on the founding teachings of Mimar Sinan, you know. So in this case, I would say yes. I mean, the architecture over here is not worse per se, but it's just not as creative as to that of Malaysia or perhaps other places. There are a couple of more questions that were asked, and I am sorry to whoever asked a question and I couldn't give them an answer in this video, but inshallah I'll be making a part 2 series to this video. Hopefully, if you know you all like this one, share it and subscribe it, and also share your thoughts and ideas in the comment section down below. It's not just a monologue, it's a dialogue, so I expect you all to also share your thoughts and ideas and opinions. And with that, thank you very much for watching the video. Stay tuned. See you in the next one. Assalamualaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. See you.